Okay, welcome to the video lecture on fluid mechanics and hydraulic machine. So this is your Sheikh Naim. So today we will come with the second lecture on fluid mechanics and hydraulic machines. So title is Properties of Fluid Part 1. Here the properties of fluid is divided into 3 parts. So today we will see the first part. Then coming to the flow chart. So this is a flow chart where we will study these properties of fluid under static condition. Then coming to the contents, here we will have a contents like density, mass density, specific weight, or we call it as a weight density, and we will talk about the specific volume. Then after that we will see the specific gravity or relative density, and then we will talk about the viscosity, and then Newton's law of viscosity, kinematic viscosity. Then finally we will go with the summary of the lecture. Then coming to the density or mass density, here density we sometimes will call it as a mass density. Okay, then the density can be defined as it is the mass per unit volume of the fluid, or other words it is called as a ratio of the mass of the fluid to the volume of the fluid. Then it is denoted with the symbol rho, so it has a units kg per meter cube. So we'll see the units now. Then mathematically it is written as, so density, that is rho equal to mass of the fluid by volume of the fluid. So mass of the fluid will be taken as a m, volume of the fluid will be taken as a v. So if you replace mass with a kg, volume with a meter cube, then will come with the units kg per meter cube. So for defining a density, so we'll have a two containers here. So this is a volume v1, so this is a volume v2. So you can see here mass is different, m1, we'll assume m1. Here mass is also different, that is a m2. If you see here, v1 equal to v2. Okay, here the volume v1 equal to v2 here. So but m1 does not equal to m2. So m1 does not equal to m2 here. Okay, so if when you write it down the density for the case 1, so that will be equal to rho 1 equal to, so m1 by v1. Similarly, when you write density for the second case, rho 2 equal to m2 by v2. So volumes are constant. So when the mass is more, so here in the first case mass is less, but in the second case mass is a more. So that means if the mass is more means density will be more, because we will have a here fixed volume. So definitely the density of the second case will be more compared to the first case. So this is how we will come with the density or mass density. So we'll have one problem for understanding the density or mass density. So a quantity of helium gas at 0 degrees centigrade with a volume of 4 meter cube has a mass of 0.712 kg at standard atmospheric pressure. Determine the density of this sample of the helium gas. Here given data is there, so volume it is given. Okay, helium gas is there, its volume is given 4 meter cube, and mass is given 0.712. So we need to calculate the density of this sample. So first we will write it down the given data, volume 4 meter cube, mass 0.712 kg. By substituting in the formula, density equal to rho equal to m by v, density is, mass is given 0.712, volume is given 4 meter cube. By substituting we will get the density value 0.178. So this is how we will calculate the density of the given problem. Okay, coming to the specific weight or weight density, so that will be denoted with the small w. So specific weight can be defined as a ratio of the weight of the fluid to the its volume of the fluid. So it has a units of Newton per meter cube. So mathematically specific weight can be written as weight of the fluid by volume of the fluid. So whenever you talk in most cases, specific means we need to divide with the volume. Okay, so in most of the cases specific means you need to divide with the volume, but when you write a specific volume you need to divide with the mass. So that we will see later. So here weight of the fluid is written as mass of the fluid into acceleration due to gravity. Then we will have a volume of the fluid, then substituting mass of the fluid into g by volume of the fluid, but we know that density equal to mass of the fluid by volume of the fluid. So substituting it here, you will get rho into g. So specific weight can be written as a rho g. Then coming to the specific volume, so I already said in most of the cases specific means you need to multiply with the volume, but here we will have a specific volume. So here we need to most of the cases specific volume means we need to divide with the volume. Here in the specific volume we need to divide with the mass. And then coming to the specific volume, it is the nothing but volume of the fluid occupied by unit mass, or it is simply written as the volume per unit mass of the fluid. So it has a units meter cube per kg. So when you write specific volume equal to volume of the fluid by mass of the fluid, so when you take it volume of the fluid in the downward direction, what happened? 1 by mass of the fluid by volume of the fluid. But we know mass of the fluid by volume of the fluid is nothing but rho. So that gives me specific volume equal to 1 by rho. So the specific volume and density are the inversely proportional. Then coming to the another topic, that is a specific gravity. Sometimes we will call it as a relative density. It is denoted with the capital S. So specific gravity is defined as the ratio of the weight density, or sometimes we will call it as a density. So weight density of the fluid to the weight density of the standard fluid, or it is also called as a density of the fluid to the density of the standard fluid. So for liquids, standard fluid is a water. So when you calculate the specific gravity for the liquid, then you take standard fluid as a water. For calculating specific gravity or relative density for the gases, we need to take the standard fluid as a air. Then mathematically we can write specific gravity for the liquids. S for the liquids, it is the weight density of the fluid by the weight density of the water, or density of the fluid by the density of the water. For the gases, it is written as weight density of the gas by weight density of the air, or density of the gas by density of the air. So this is how we will define our specific gravity or relative density. Then coming to this problem 2, here we need to calculate the specific weight, density and specific gravity of 1 liter of liquid which weighs 7 Newton. Here data is given 1 liter, so 1 liter of volume is given and 7 Newton weight is given. So we'll write given data, volume is 1 liter, so when you convert 1 liter into meter cube, so then we need to multiply with the 1 by 1000 meter cube. So here 1 liter is given 1 by 1000 meter cube. Then weight it is given 7 Newton. So we'll have a formula specific weight. Specific weight is nothing but weight by volume. Weight is given 7 Newton. Volume is given 1 by 1000 meter cube. By substituting, we will get the specific weight as a 7000 Newton per meter cube. Then next one, we need to calculate the density value. So for calculating density value, we will have a density equal to mass by volume actually. Here mass is not given, only volume is given. So we'll have another formula for calculating density. So that is our specific weight. Specific weight we have rho g. So rho value we need to calculate. So we will substitute W by G, that is a specific weight by G here. So specific weight it is given 7000 and G is given 9.81. By substituting we will get a density value 713.5 kg per meter cube. So this is how we will calculate density value. Then coming to the specific gravity. Specific gravity we already known formula, density of the liquid by density of the water, or weight density of the liquid by weight density of the water. So density of the liquid we will calculate it from the above 713.5, and density of water we know. So always we will take density of water at standard condition 1000 kg per meter cube. By substituting we will get a 0.7135. So this specific gravity we don't have any units. So this is how we calculate our density, specific gravity and specific weight also. Then coming to the problem 3, in problem 3 we have to calculate density, specific weight, weight of 1 liter of petrol of specific gravity 0.7. So here again volume is given 1 liter, and here instead of weight it is given specific gravity is given. So we need to calculate density, specific weight and weight. So first we'll write it down the given data. So volume is given 1 liter, so that is 1 liter will convert it into 1 by 1000 meter cube, so that is 0.001 meter cube. So specific gravity is given 0.7. so first we'll calculate the density value. For calculating density, so we'll have a formulas. So density equal to mass by volume, but here mass is not given, only volume is given. So we need to choose another formula. So that is specific gravity equal to density of the liquid by density of the water. Here specific gravity is given, so that's why we are taking this formula. Then substituting, we will get a density of the petrol equal to specific gravity into 1000. So we'll get a 700 kg per meter cube. So from this we'll know that density of the petrol is a 700 kg per meter cube. So this is a small compared to water. Water will have a density of 1000 kg per meter cube. So that's why the petrol is floating on a water. Then now we need to calculate specific weight. So specific weight will have a formula. So W equal to rho G. Density of the petrol we already find out, 700 into 9.81. Then it gives me specific weight 6867 Newton per meter cube. Then we will calculate the weight value. For calculating weight value, so we'll have a specific weight equal to weight by volume. Specific weight is known value now. So we'll write weight equal to specific weight into volume. So that gives me 6.867 Newton. So this is how we'll calculate the weight, specific weight and density values. Then we'll come to another topic, that is the viscosity. So viscosity is defined as it is the fluid's resistance. So when the fluid is flowing, some resistance is offered. So the resistance is because of this viscosity. Then so it is also viscosity is also defined as the internal friction of a moving fluid. So when a fluid is moving, means some internal friction is applied because of the layers present in the fluid. Then so that means a fluid which is having a large viscosity with a fluid having a large viscosity, so its motion is restricted because of molecules are creating a large friction. So that means lot of friction. So when the fluid is a low viscosity, so it will easy to flow because these molecules are creating a little friction. Okay, so this is how we'll understand the viscosity. Then coming to the simple animation, you can see here we will have a two animations are there. So first one is a low viscosity of fluid. So at the bottom we'll have a fixed surface, at the top we'll have a moving surface. So it is moving with a velocity capital V. Here also at the second case we'll have a higher viscosity, and the bottom also will have a fixed surface, and this one is moving top. So same conditions are there, but here we'll have a difference only is the viscosity, low viscosity and higher viscosity. Now we'll see the animation. So moving surfaces are there, no slip condition. Okay, so at the top we'll have surface is moving at a larger length compared to high viscosity fluid condition. You can once again see that one. So it is moving a larger distance, means it is moving with a high velocity. Okay, so this is moving a smaller distance, means it is having a low velocity. So this is how we'll understand the viscosity concept. Then coming to the gases also have a viscosity, but it is harder to find out the viscosity in the gases. So you can see here we'll have two images are there. So in the first image, two fluids are there, they are trying to flow at the same time, and but we can see after some time in the first container already some of the fluid is filled, but in second container it is not yet started. So that means that the second fluid viscosity is very high compared to first one. So that's why in second case there is a container is empty. So in second figure you can see here, this is the order of increase in viscosity. So if the viscosity is low, means the fluid can flow very easily. That means it has a higher velocity. In second case, fluid is also flowing, but flowing with a very slowly, and that means here we'll have a some viscosity is there, but the viscosity is more here compared to the first case. And when you are in third case also, fluid is flowing at a very slow rate, and here in the fourth case fluid is just started flowing, and at the fifth case fluid is not yet started. So that means here we'll have a higher viscosity at the fifth case. So these two figures gives us understanding of the viscosity. Then coming to the Newton's law of viscosity. So Newton's law of viscosity states that shear stress produced in the fluid layer is directly proportional to the rate of shear strain. So you can see in the figure we'll have a fixed surface is there. So this one is a fixed surface. Here this is a two layers are there. So this is the one layer which is moving with velocity u, and we'll have another layer which is moving a velocity u plus du, and this is a velocity profile. Okay, because apart from this fixed surface, fluid is flowing like this. Okay, we are considering only two layers, that is a u and u plus du velocity layers. Here du is the velocity difference between these two layers, and dy is the distance between these two layers. So you can see dy is the distance between adjacent fluid layers. Here you can see, and du is the velocity difference between the adjacent fluid layers. So Newton's law of viscosity states that shear stress produced in between these two layers is directly proportional to rate of shear strain. Du by dy, du is the velocity difference, dy is the distance between two layers. These two combinedly we will call it as a shear strain. Okay, then so after removing proportionality, we will get a constant value, that is a mu. So it is called as a constant of proportionality. It is called coefficient of dynamic viscosity or coefficient of viscosity. So where tau is a shear stress, and du by dy we calling as a velocity gradient, or sometimes we will call it as a rate of shear strain or rate of shear deformation, and mu is a coefficient of viscosity or coefficient of dynamic viscosity. Okay, now we'll see units of viscosity. So before going to that one, so you'll write units of viscosity. In most of the case, viscosity means that is a dynamic viscosity, or we'll call it as a coefficient of viscosity. So mu can be written as a tau by du by dy. So shear stress is nothing but force by area du by dy. Du by dy is written as du by dy. So you can write force by area by 1 by second. So when you substitute unit set here, so du is nothing but meter per second, and then by dy is a meter. So meter gets cancelled, then we will come with the 1 by second. So we replace 1 by second at here, and then we will write force by area into second, taking second in the upward direction. Then so if you want to write units of viscosity in mks units, mks means meter kilogram second. So force can be written as a kg force in mks units, and the second is a second, and area can be written as a meter square. So these are the units of viscosity in mks units. Then coming to the cgs units, in cgs unit force is replaced as a dyne. So second is a second, area is represented as centimeter square because cgs is a centimeter gram second. So written units of viscosity in cgs as a dyne second per meter square. Then coming to the cgs units of viscosity, we also called as a poise. Okay, poise is nothing but dyne second by centimeter square. Then coming to the SI units of viscosity, so here force is represented as a Newton, and the second is a second. In SI units we will write second as a only S, and area is a meter square. Then Newton per meter square is nothing but Pascal into second. So you can see we'll have a conversion here. 1 kg force, if you want to convert kg force into Newton, we'll have a conversion. 1 kg force equal to 9.8 Newton, and if you want to convert Newton into dyne, we'll have a conversion 10 power 1 Newton equal to 10 power 5 dynes. So with the help of these conversions, so one poise can be written as 1 by 10 into Newton second per meter square. Okay, so this is how we'll convert our poise, that is a CJS units of viscosity into the SI units of viscosity. Then coming to the kinematic viscosity, so kinematic viscosity is also called as a momentum diffusivity. So this will be very helpful when you are talking about the mass transfer subject. So kinematic viscosity is nothing but the ratio of the dynamic viscosity to the density of the fluid. Mathematically it is written as mu, it is a nu, dynamic viscosity is a mu, kinematic viscosity is a nu, mu equal to mu by rho. So coming to the units of kinematic viscosity, here in M case and SI units we'll have a meter square per second. So we'll see how these units came. So mu can be written as mu by rho. Mu will have a force second per area, and rho is a density which is given as a mass by volume. So volume can be written as area into length. So by cancelling areas here, so we'll come with the force into second by mass length. So force can be written as a mass into acceleration. So we'll cancel mass value, acceleration second, and length is there. So when you substitute units, acceleration is a meter per second square, second is a second, and then we'll have a length is also meter. So 1 second will get cancelled, then we'll come with the units meter square per second. So these are the units of kinematic viscosity. So in M case and SI units we'll call it as a meter square per second. Then coming to the CJS units, we will replace meter into centimeter, so we'll get a centimeter square per second. So here similar to similar to dynamic viscosity, in dynamic viscosity we'll call it as a CJS units as a poise. Now here in kinematic viscosity we'll call it as a CJS units as a stroke. Okay, so try to remember that one. Viscosity or dynamic viscosity CJS units are poise, and kinematic viscosity CJS units are stroke. So stroke can be written as centimeter square per second. So one stroke can be replaced into meter square per second, that is a centimeter we know, 1 centimeter equal to 1 by 100 meter. So we'll have a square is there, so that's why we'll get a 10 power minus 4 meter square per second. So similarly centi-stroke means, centi means 1 by 100, so that is a 1 by 100 in 100 strokes. So this is how we'll see units of kinematic viscosity. Then coming to the problem, so this is the last problem in this lecture. So here if the velocity distribution over a plate is given by u equal to 2 by 3y minus y square, in which u is the velocity in meter per second at a distance y meter above the plate. Determine the shear stress at y equal to 0, y equal to 0.15 meter. Take dynamic viscosity of the fluid is a 8.63 poises. Here given data is velocity distribution is given, and then it is given distances y equal to 0, y equal to 0.15. We will see the diagram later. So here so we need to calculate tau value. So that means we need to calculate the tau value at y equal to 0, y equal to 0.15. So we'll have a fixed wall at here, you can see fixed wall is there. From there fluid is flowing like this. So this is a fixed wall, here some fluid is flowing like this. So the velocity distribution of this fluid is given, this one, u equal to 2 by 3y minus y square. So we need to calculate the tau value along the vertical direction at y equal to 0, that is at the wall, at y equal to 0.15 meters. Okay, so this is the diagram for understanding. So we'll write it down the given data first. U is given 2 by 3y minus y square. So we need to calculate tau value. For calculating tau value we need to know the mu value. So that is the dynamic viscosity is already given, and then we need to find out the du by dy value. So for calculating du by dy, we need to derivate the velocity distribution with respect to y. Then we'll get 2 by 3 minus 2y. We already know the derivation. Okay, so we'll get this du by dy value 2 by 3 minus 2y. So we need to calculate du by dy at y equal to 0. So that gives me substituting y equal to 0 in this expression. So 2 by 3 minus 2 into y value is 0. So 2 minus 2 into 0 is 0. So I will come up with the 2 by 3. So that is a 0.667. So similarly, we need to calculate du by dy value at y equal to 0.15. So substituting at in y 0.15, they will come with the value 0.367. So this is how we'll calculate the du by dy value. Now we'll substitute these values in tau. Then we see. So mu we are converting into Newton second per meter square. So mu is given 8.63 poise. So we'll multiply with the 1 by 10. Then it gives me 0.863. Now we'll know the shear stress value tau equal to mu du by dy. So for shear stress at y equal to 0, so we'll write it as a tau naught equal to mu into du by dy at y equal to 0. So mu is already known from this expression. So 0.863 into, so du by dy at y equal to 0 we already calculated in the previous slide. We will substitute it here. Then we will come with the tau naught value 0.5756 Newton per meter square. And similarly we will calculate shear stress value at y equal to 0.15. So tau y equal to 0.15 equal to mu into du by dy at y equal to 0.15. So mu value will substitute it here. We already know from the previous slide du by dy is 0.367. By substituting these values at here, we will get the 0.3167 Newton per meter square. So from this problem you can identify that this is a fixed value, fixed wall. So this is a fixed wall. So fluid is flowing like this. So we are calculating shear stress at y equal to 0. So that is a 0.5756. So this is more compared to at y equal to 0.15. So y equal to 0.15 is at here. So definitely the shear stress will be more nearer to the wall compared to the other cases. Okay. Then we come to the end of the lecture. So in this lecture we seen that density is nothing but the ratio of the mass of the fluid to the volume of the fluid, and we seen that specific weight is the ratio between the weight of the fluid to its volume, and we already seen that specific volume is the volume per mass, and then we'll come with the specific gravity is the ratio of the weight density of the fluid to the weight density of the standard fluid, and we seen the viscosity is nothing but the fluid's resistance. Then Newton's law of viscosity states that shear stress on the fluid element layer is directly proportional to rate of shear strain. So this is also we already seen. Also we seen the kinematic viscosity is nothing but the ratio of the dynamic viscosity to the density of the fluid. Okay, so we will come to the end of the lecture. Okay, thank you for your listening.